This is not financial advice. This video is purely for entertainment and is my own opinion. I'm not telling anyone how to spend or invest their money or what financial decisions to make. Take the contents of this video as entertainment and at your own risk. I'm selling my DNA. He hasn't uploaded in a year, you're thinking. This is a cry for help, you determine. Investing has made him delusional, you decide. He's resorted to selling his body. No, you're incorrect. Welcome to The Thinker. This opportunity came to me in the form of an email and is actually related to a small investment I made more than 2 years ago. So let's start from the beginning. This is Crowdcube. Crowdcube is a platform that allows you to invest in startups that are crowdfunding to reach a funding goal that will help them to develop their business, and you receive shares in that business. Think of it kind of like an online version of Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, and instead of 4 or 5 rich investors, it's open to the public. These investments are very high risk, especially as most startups fail. I only invest money into crowdfunding raises that I can afford to lose. These investments are extremely illiquid, so once invested, you can't exactly sell these shares. There are talks of Crowdcube introducing a secondary market where users can trade the shares they've bought, but I don't think it's been introduced yet. Looking at my overall portfolio, I try to make sure only a little of it goes towards my Crowdcube investments, as it's too high risk. I currently have about 2.5 grand in my Crowdcube portfolio, and if you'd like me to do a breakdown of this, let me know in the comments. Enter genomes.io. I was scrolling through the investment opportunities page when I came across them. Having a background in science, I was instantly intrigued. I remember wanting to get one of those genome sequencing kits, but actually decided against it, purely due to my concerns about companies just owning my genetic data. Imagine a scenario where you are denied health insurance because the insurance company has your sequenced genome and knows that you have a rare disease, or that you're at an increased risk of certain diseases compared to the average person. There are many ways your genetic data can be used maliciously against you. I thought there may be a better alternative in the future, and if I were to sequence now, I won't be able to get my data back once it's out there. As much as the curiosity was killing me to find out all this cool information about myself, whether I'm a carrier for certain diseases, how well I metabolize different substances, whether my body is geared to be better at endurance sports or strength-based activities, the amount of insight you can gain about yourself is mind-blowing, but I decided against it. Fast forward back and I'm reading the genomes.io description for their crowdfund, talking about the importance of privacy when it comes to your genetic data, and how they are a company focused on privacy for your genome. They were working on a vault using cutting-edge blockchain technology that they developed with AMD, specifically for the purpose of safely storing your genome, a 100GB file in a vault that only you have access to, and no one else, not even genomes.io. Hacking has so far been fruitless unless the seed phrase for your vault is compromised, much like a crypto wallet. And because genomes.io don't have access to these vaults, they can't help you recover your genome if you lose your seed phrase. You just lose your ability to access your vault. Now, not only were they heavily focused on privacy, but they were building the infrastructure for you to earn money by allowing researchers or pharmaceutical companies to query sections of your genome. They do this by allowing them to query a small part of your genome. And should you choose to accept the query, which is completely up to you to accept or reject, they never see the information within the vault. They just receive the answer to the question they asked, and the process of reading the genome for the answer never leaves the vault. I couldn't believe my eyes. The exact solution to a real-world problem I personally experienced, and here they are, working on a solution that's even better than what I had hoped the future would bring. In my opinion, the best businesses solve problems for their customers. This business takes it one step further, incentivizing the customer to earn money whilst taking control of their genome. A lot of other big sequencing companies make money off of you by charging you to collect your genetic data, then go on to sell your genetic data to third parties for unbelievable amounts of money. And I'm not going to name anyone, but if you do your research, you'll be very shocked at how much some of these companies have sold their genetic databases for. And guess what? They don't compensate their customers a penny. It's an incredible business model, charging you to collect and sell your data. Now, whilst I was reading this description, I remember not having much money at the time, to the point I nearly didn't invest. I put my phone away, but I remember being so passionate and showing it to a friend and describing to them the utility and a future where everyone will be sequenced, and how it will be as common as a blood test and can help with your healthcare, lifestyle choices, etc. In the end, I ended up convincing myself. I scraped together £100 I couldn't afford to support the business. After a while, I forgot about it, knowing full well they had a long way to go and I may very well never hear about them again. Fast forward to a few months ago. I've gained a lot more experience in the crypto space and NFTs. I've received an email update from genomes.io telling me they are becoming a DAO, but will be maintaining the real world genomes.io business to show its legitimacy and that it's not a sketchy crypto rug pull, and also mentioned that they are releasing a cryptocurrency coin called Gene on SushiSwap, which is a cryptocurrency exchange kind of like Coinbase. So what is a DAO, I pretend you ask? A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, and without getting too into it, it's kind of like a business or project that exists on the blockchain but is decentralized from any government and controlled by the DAO members. So immediately I was glad to hear that things were progressing and that I was now able to get involved. Gene is the utility token which allows third parties like Big Pharma and scientific researchers to query parts of your genome and then pay you in Gene. I'll leave a link to the Genomes DAO Discord for those of you who want to find out more about the project or tokenomics of the coin, etc. I am quite active there, so say I sent you and I'll try and find your messages. I will be uploading a video explaining my absence from YouTube for the past year as part of a double upload with a video detailing a top secret project I've been working on, and because of this project, once again, I didn't have as large an amount as I wanted to invest into this Gene coin, and I only bought a couple of $100 worth of Gene. This worked out in my favor, as the token price has since decreased and I've been able to lower my average buy-in over time by regularly buying more Gene. The reason the token price has dropped is because of low trading volume, as they are currently still building their database, and third parties have informed them that they ideally need around 10,000 genomes in vaults before they are interested in querying them and decide to commit to buying the Gene necessary to pay customers for querying their vault. Once the database reaches that 10,000 mark, Big Pharma and other research organizations will buy the Gene token, and this will be what they use to pay people for their data. You have the control to accept or reject any and all queries from third parties as you wish, and the team have said they will add the ability for you to negotiate the amount you're paid. And the only information stored on the blockchain is that a certain amount of Gene was deposited to an address at a certain date. No data about the query or your genome is shown in these transactions. The queries use repeat consent protocol, so each query would have to be approved by you, and multiple companies can end up paying you for essentially the same query. Genomes DAO use clinical grade 30 times whole genome sequencing to sequence your entire genome, whereas most other big known companies use exome sequencing or genotyping, where they sequence less than 2% of your DNA, then they potentially go on to sell this data for their own profit. Because Genomes DAO sequence 100% of your DNA, this will also entice Big Pharma, as a database of whole genomes is much more appealing than a database of partially 2% sequenced genomes, meaning hopefully more queries to your vault and therefore hopefully more money should you accept those queries. Genomes DAO also rewarded everyone who bought Gene at the initial SushiSwap auction and kept their investment without dumping it. They sent each person that didn't paper hands their Gene 100 GNOME tokens. At the time, these were worth around $160, which I thought was incredibly generous and smart for the company to reward loyalty to the project. GNOME is the governance token for the DAO, and if you own 100 tokens or more, it gives you membership to the DAO. And you literally own a part of the project and you have voting power on the decisions that are made. So everyone who had held their Gene tokens from the auction were essentially gifted a membership to the DAO. Both Gene and GNOME tokens used to be on the Ethereum network but have since migrated to Polygon to avoid gas fees. The value of GNOME has also since gone down, but again I suspect this is due to it being the early stages of the project. Like I said before, they need to build up their database so companies will be interested in mass querying vaults. Genomes DAO have essentially paused the selling of their DNA sequencing kits on their website until the big launch of their NFT packages, which is their big drive to build the database. What is an NFT, I pretend you ask? An NFT is a non-fungible token, basically a one-of-a-kind bit of data that can be traded. Sometimes it's art or a wearable in-game outfit like in Decentraland, or a racehorse you can digitally race against others. Drop a comment if you want me to show you my NFT collection and I'm ready for the I screenshot it, it's mine now comments. I mean, I'm not willing to engage in that argument. I think NFTs have value just like art in the real world. If anything, they can do more though. NFTs can have utility, redeemable traits, and can enhance gaming. In this case, Genomes DAO are releasing an NFT collection called Geneticats. They will have 10,000 available to buy publicly on February 28. But this isn't just an NFT collection like the others. These have actual utility. Each NFT comes with a free whole genome sequencing kit, which is a redeemable trait and part of the NFT itself. Once redeemed, they'll send you out a kit. These NFTs will help fill out the 10,000 required vaults. They already have a couple thousand vaults that will be filled from other avenues, and any NFTs that aren't sold in this 1 week public sale will be burned. Also included with the NFTs is the AMD SEV ES Vault, built on blockchain tech that will protect your most important data. Some NFTs will also come with a Gene or Gnome airdrop. And if that's not enough, once you sequence yourself, they also send you a second unique NFT generated from a query on a small section of your DNA. Again, only if you accept this query because they can't access your genome. That's art generated from your DNA. And all of this will be sold at the cost price of a whole genome sequencing test kit and vault. The NFT will be on the Ethereum chain and is planned to cost 0.15 to 0.2 ETH, depending on the fluctuation in price of Ethereum. I have invested in both Gene and Gnome, and I will be purchasing an NFT and monetizing my DNA. If you can't tell, I'm very hyped about this project, and I think back to the time I nearly didn't invest on Crowdcube, which meant I wouldn't have received the update email about Gene, and I wouldn't have been able to be so early to this project. I remember when I thought I was early to Decentraland, and I just knew it was going to become mainstream. But that's for me to talk more about in my next video. All I'm saying is I feel the same about this, and see its widespread application in a future where most people are sequenced, and hold custody of their own genome, and can use it to make better decisions. If anything, I feel like I'm earlier to this project than I was to Decentraland. There's a lot I just haven't managed to cover in this, like their work in helping underdeveloped countries and those who wouldn't normally have access to these kits. But this is an already long video, so I'll leave all the links to their Discord and website in the description below. They have an incredible team that will explain everything far better than I can. Whilst I am invested in this project, I was not asked to make this video or to promote them. The video is based off of my own research, so don't take everything I say as fact and do your own research. Thanks for watching, and as always, like, subscribe, comment, bell.